everyone, good evening. I hope you are all having a fantastic Wednesday. I am wanting to do a cute little card tonight using the Back on Your Feet stamp set. This is a stamp set that I have only used a couple of times, and so I thought I need to get it back out and use it. I just feel like it's just an adorable stamp set. It's got the cute little animals that are all in their little predicaments. The giraffe with the knot in his neck, and the turtle on his back, and the sloth with little sprained or wrapping around his front leg there, I guess, front paw, whatever you want to say. But they're just adorable. So we're going to use the little turtle today because I think he's so cute. He's been flipped over on his back. You know, he's upside down. I kind of think that's how we all feel right now, is kind of upside down. Like everything is so weird right now. Now my video will not pull up. Oh, I just need to start turning this off every night before I start, I guess. I apologize for it being a pain in the booty. All right, so let's get started with this. So the first thing you want to do is cut out a rectangle using your stitched rectangles. And I wanted it to not be white. So I'm using the Soft Seafoam Light Stampin' Blend. And I'm just going to color over it a nice soft seafoam color. Now, I could have just cut out soft seafoam cardstock, but I wanted it just a little bit different than the soft seafoam cardstock because that's what we're using for the card base, which is great, but it's just a tiny bit different, and I can make it a little bit darker if I want to. I can just go over it a couple more times so it's just a little bit darker than the card base. And had I used the Soft Seafoam Dark, it would have definitely been darker the first time. But that way it's just a little bit darker without having to find a different color of cardstock. So that's just a little helpful hint that you can do with different colors if you want to, just to change it up a little bit when you are designing your card. So right now I can't see anyone's comments yet, so if you've popped on, I apologize. I haven't acknowledged you. And if you're not on yet, then I'll acknowledge you as soon as I can. So add it to the front. There we go, iPad's up. Let's see if it'll pull up my video now. If this works again like it did last night, then this is what I have to do every night, is restart my iPad for some reason. Never had a problem before until I updated recently. Look, there we go. Everything's pulling up now. That's so silly. All right, so when I'm back on next time, I have to restart my iPad just to begin with. All right, so once you have that piece on there, you're gonna cut a stitched circle using the stitched shape dies, and then a piece of garden green cardstock. Now with that garden green cardstock, you're going to run it through the hammered 3D embossing folder. And I want to show you this very important line that's right here on the folder, that black line. When you flip this open, you can see that that line is there. So you're just gonna put your little piece of paper and line it up with that. Then you'll run it through your die cutting or embossing machine. So I'm gonna just do that real quick over here on the side to get that embossed pattern onto our paper. Look at that, isn't that cute? I love how that turns out, and I think it goes perfect with the turtle. Hi Angie, how's it going? So after you get that piece cut, just take some Whisper White Baker's Twine, just pull enough around so you can make a bow. Again, you know me, I don't like to measure, so I just kind of measure it as I'm wrapping it around. And I tied my bow just a little bit left of center. Now you want to leave enough space at the top for your sentiment, which is going to go right up here. So just wiggle your Baker's Twine down a little bit if it's not quite where you want it. And it'll fit perfect because now our piece of cardstock is drying from that Stampin' Blend that we colored it with the alcohol marker. And then you'll just have your bow on there. Flip it over and add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of it. Now there we go. It looked a little uneven on the back, so I wanted to make sure before I stuck it down. I always try to stick one dimensional right on the back of baker's twine if I have it on the back like that, or ribbon just to hold it in place. If I don't have a glue dot under it or something, the Stampin' Dimensionals are perfect if I'm going to be putting those on the back. So go ahead and stick this part onto your card after you get all your little Stampin' backs off. Now, I don't know about any of you all, but my hands have never been drier in my life. And I am a hand washer by nature anyway, but I feel like I have used so much soap and so much extra sanitizer the past few weeks that my hands are just at night. I'll put lotion on them and it just like soaks in and it burns as it's soaking in. Not that that's uncommon. I've had that happen before, like when I lived in Michigan during the winter time, but I'm in Florida right now. It's humid. It's not cold. So my hands shouldn't feel like that. So I need to start making sure I put lotion on them every time I wash my hands, because I haven't been doing that like I should. And I can just feel they're like sandpaper at night. All right, so stamp your little turtle in Memento ink on your stitch circle. Your piece of this is still drying, so I'm not going to stamp it yet, because if you stamp it before it's dry, your letters will blur. So we don't want to do that. We'll just work on coloring our turtle in. So what I did with him was I just outlined him in Old Olive Light, and kind of especially where all of the little shaded parts are around his legs and his neck. And I did the bottom of his feet and his little toes with the Old Olive Light as well. Hi Lois, how are you tonight? I have a question for you, Lois. Do you remember a long time ago when you came over and I thought we were going to be doing watercoloring, so I got out my watercolor paper? Do you remember where I put it? Because I can't find it. I was looking for it the other day. I've got my old watercolor paper, but I don't have my new stuff that we were going to use that day. And I was like, I really need to ask Lois next time I talk to her. And since we're on here, I'm like, oh, maybe she remembers where I put it. I'll find out. All right, so after I did that, I went ahead and I colored in his face and his legs with Soft Seafoam Dark. Completely different shade than the Old Olive, but he needs a little bit of contrast. Not a lot, but just a little, and they blend a little bit where you bring them together. Oh, that's okay, Lois. I was like, I figured it was worth a shot asking. And then for the back, his turtle back, I'm just going to go around all of the little, I don't even know what those little squares are called on the back of a turtle's back. But I'm going to go around all those with the Soft Seafoam Dark, and then I'm going to fill them in with the Mint Macaron Dark. So then he's got a little bit, those squares are just a little bit darker on his back. I don't know if they're called plates on a turtle's back. I don't know. Again, not an animal expert, just think they're cute. Love them. Look at him, he's so cute and he's so scared. He's all flipped over on his back. But he's gonna get back up soon. All right, just like we are. We're all gonna get back to our norm soon. And our new normal might be different because we're gonna be a little more cautious, I think. I hope so anyway. More cautious about covering our mouths when we cough. Sanitizing our hands, washing our hands. because I'll tell you, there's not one thing that irritates me more is if I'm in a public restroom, and I don't like to go in them anyway, but sometimes you can't avoid it, and you hear someone come out and leave the restroom without washing their hands. So maybe people will be more conscious of that. Maybe. We can only hope. All right, so I stamped "Hope you're back on your feet soon," because that is the one that goes perfectly with this. And I'm just gonna stick my dimensionals right onto that garden green embossed piece that we did. Stick our little sentiment on there. My black ink is a little wet, so I didn't want to push on it too much. And then get a piece of Whisper White for the inside. And also for the inside, I wanted to add a little strip of this paper that was left over. So I'm just gonna trim it up with my little mini trimmer. And this is 1.5 inches, and we don't need that much. 3/4 of an inch is plenty to go across the bottom of your card. Might have been a little more than 1.5 inches because that's a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna put a little strip across the bottom. And now, of course, you can always stamp something in there too, but sometimes just putting a little strip of paper like this is just as cute on the inside. And you can either put it at the top or the bottom. I usually put it at the bottom. But when I'm looking at this, I kind of like how it looks at the top. So let's do that. Let's flip it over today and put it at the top. It's just super adorable. I love this little turtle. I mailed out one card today to a friend, and I'm trying to do it where I'm mailing at least one card a day, or one card for each day of the week. Let's see how that goes. So far, I've gotten 2 out this week, and it's Wednesday, right? So I'm a little behind. I might have to get a couple more out. But that's it. That's all it takes to make this super cute card. And again, if you want to go over this more now that your Memento ink is darker and make that even darker, just keep going over it and it'll shade darker and darker. And you can use a different color over it if you want to. It's completely up to you. But I hope you enjoyed today's One Card Wonder Wednesday featuring the Back on Your Feet stamp set. Because like I said, he's on his back, flipped upside down. It's kind of how we're all feeling right now. And so this set just spoke to me today. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. I live and love to inspire you. Make sure you visit my store at valeriesmith.stampinup.net to get all of your supplies. And I will talk to you later. Have a great evening. Bye.